Hello, welcome to our news broadcast daily, and following are today's headlines.
Prime Minister VietNam stresses the importance of energy cooperation with Russia. National Assembly Chairman VietNam concludes his European tour. Vietjet Air to launch new air route from Ho Chi Minh City to Singapore.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng has affirmed that cooperation in energy sector is an important and strategic pillar in Vietnam-Russia comprehensive cooperation.
The government leader made the statement in Hanoi on March 22nd while receiving Igor Shechin, Secretary General of the Russian National Energy Commission and head of energy giant Rosneft. He pledged to facilitate the Russian oil company's operation in Vietnam, as well as cooperation between Vietnam Oil and Gas Group and Rosneft in oil and gas exploitation and exploration. For his part, Igor Shechin said he hopes the Vietnamese government will continue to support and create favorable conditions for Rosneft to expand its investment in the country. Rosneft operates in oil and gas exploration and exploitation and produces oil and petrochemical products. The Russian energy giant boasts oil reserves of about 20.8 billion barrels.
Chairman of the National Assembly Nguyễn Sinh Hùng on March 22nd visited the Vatican before concluding his European tour.
During a meeting with Pope Francis I in the Holy See, National Assembly Chairman Hùng stated that Vietnam highly values the development of its ties with the Vatican. He said the country considers creeds and religions as a spiritual need of the people that contribute to ensuring national unity. While meeting with Vatican Secretary of State Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Chairman Hùng said Vietnam treasures and stands ready to boost ties with the Holy See on the principle of respect for independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity without interfering in each other's internal affairs. Earlier, Chairman Hùng held a reception for General Secretary of the Party of Italian Communists, Cesare Procaccini. The Vietnamese parliament leader thanked the Italian communists for their support to Vietnam during its struggle for liberation in the past and construction at present. For his part, Procaccini said his party expects to further solidarity, friendship and cooperation with the Communist Party of Vietnam and pledged to do his utmost to tighten ties between the two parties, countries and peoples. National Assembly Chairman Hùng arrived in Hanoi on March 23rd, successfully concluding his European tour after attending the 130th Assembly of the International Parliamentary Union and paying official visits to Switzerland and Italy.
The Ministry of Industry and Trade on March 22nd launched an afforestation festival at the Sơn La hydropower plant. Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải attended the event.
The festival, held in the northern mountainous province of Sơn La, is a key component of the National Assembly and government resolutions regarding the planning, construction and operation of hydropower projects. Addressing the ceremony, Deputy Prime Minister Hải said afforestation will help water resources become more stable, thus raising the operational efficiency of hydroelectric plants. According to the Deputy Prime Minister, between 2006 and 2013, the country completed 205 hydropower projects, which were built on nearly 20,000 hectares of forestry land in 27 cities and provinces. However, there have been only 11 provinces so far approving projects to plant trees over areas of 2,600 hectares. He asked project investors to strictly observe the government's instructions on afforestation, while requesting the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development to coordinate with localities in supervising the work. Inaugurated in December 2012, the Sơn La hydropower plant is seen as a project important to national energy security. The plant operators are striving to grow 300 hectares of forest, which were previously used for power purposes.
Vietjet Air has announced that it will launch a new service between Ho Chi Minh City and Singapore from May 23rd to meet the increasing travel demand.
The low-cost airline will conduct 7 route flights with 2,526 per week on the route, which is the second international air route following its first one to Bangkok, Thailand. It is now operating more than 600 flights per week on 23 domestic and international routes. The airline plans to open more routes to several regional destinations such as Taiwan, the Republic of Korea and Japan in 2014. The budget carrier started to fly in late 2011. Last year, it transported more than 4.3 million passengers, accounting for about 26% of the domestic market share.
The Central Highlands province of Dak Lak has welcomed nearly 3,000 Russian tourists since late 2013, thanks to its cooperation program with the Central province of Khánh Hòa.
Since early 2013, travel agencies in Dak Lak and Khánh Hòa provinces have joined hands in surveying tourist destinations and products, such as eco-tourist, cultural and historical sites, in order to open 2-day tours to bring Russian visitors to Dak Lak. In an effort to attract more tourists, the Central Highlands provinces have agreed to boost tourism cooperation with Khánh Hòa based on their areas of strength. They are developing tours that link them to the sea and island areas in Khánh Hòa. They also organise tourism promotion workshops in Russia. Dak Lak now has 3 travel agencies transporting Russian tourists from the Khánh Hòa city of Nha Trang to Dak Lak. In February, the province welcomed 40,000 visitors, an increase of 1.33% compared to the same period last year. Of them, 4,000 were foreigners, up 1.14%.
Since long ago, residents of Lý Sơn district in the central province of Quảng Ngãi have preserved a historical story about the militia heroes of the flotilla in the Nguyen dynasty who rowed boats to Hoàng Sa archipelago, ready to plant sovereign landmarks and defend the islands of the motherland.
Located 120 nautical miles from Hoàng Sa or Paracel archipelago, Lý Sơn Island, with an area of 10 square kilometers, has 100 relics, most of which relate to the Hoàng Sa flotilla. As usual, every year, the natives of Lý Sơn, no matter where they live or work, return to their homeland to attend the ceremony, which today is a common ritual among fishermen in the region. According to historical records, the Hoàng Sa flotilla was set up in the early 17th century with the task of tapping natural resources, measuring sea lanes and planting sovereignty markers across the archipelagos of Hoàng Sa and Trường Sa under the reign of the Nguyen dynasty from 1802 to 1945. Before Hoàng Sa soldiers went to sea, families on Lý Sơn Island would organize a soldier feast and commemoration festival. Families on Lý Sơn Island often practice the ritual in the 2nd and 3rd month of the lunar year. Replica boats carrying effigies will then be floated out to sea. It is hoped that with these dummies, their juniors will not be killed offshore and be blessed by gods and angels. On the day of the ritual, the elderly from 6 large families on the island held the solemn rituals, such as the requiem, the offering for the captain, and floating boats to honor the fallen soldiers. It is the business of soldiers' families and even of the whole village. The festival comprises a range of rituals, such as playing big snail shell, reenacting the image of the heroic soldiers sailing out to sea, and floating replica boats with effigies towards Hoàng Sa archipelago. I have watched the people of this island hold the festival in the 2nd month of the lunar year since I was a child. I enjoyed putting the boats in the sea. The Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism has recognized the Hoàng Sa Soldier Feast and Commemoration Festival as a national intangible cultural heritage. The traditional ritual aims to pay tribute to generations of Vietnamese people who spared no efforts, even sacrificed their lives to protect the country's sacred sovereignty. It also helps teach the descendants about patriotism and national pride for a deep awareness of Vietnam's sea and island sovereignty.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching and goodbye for now.